What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. It's Fantasy Alarm Sports Talk. I'm your host, Howard Bender. With me today, Adam Ronis. Ronis, what's going on, man? Great table that discussion event yesterday. Had a lot of fun with that. And I got to be honest with you, man. With the morning that I had, yesterday's table that discussion changed my whole day around. Whole mood switched right back into high gear.
Well, that's great to hear because, again, that's what we're trying to do for people that are watching. We know everyone is getting impatient with this quarantine. They want to get back to normal, and we're just here kind of to help you, give you some sports knowledge, get some insight into fantasy, real life, and some entertainment as well. And I thought it definitely was entertaining yesterday. Had a lot of fun as well, and looking forward to doing it again.
Oh, I think that's our regular Wednesday. That's our regular Wednesday gig now.
How
I think
quickly that assimilated into the rotation.
it was perfect, right? I mean, come on. You saw Fensty. He was taking it like a champ there, even in Pemba. So, yeah, I think that's definitely going to be what we're going to do. Now, we spent so much time having some fun yesterday that we left a whole mess of sports on the table, which, I figured you and I could kind of, cover ground today. And we'll start it off here. Andy Dalton finally cut by the Bengals. What a douche move by the Bengals, right? I mean, listen, you knew you were getting Joe Burrow. You knew you were taking him first. No, you made millions of statements saying that you weren't going to trade out of that pick. So why be a dick and leave Andy Dalton twisting in the wind like that, and not give him a bona fide opportunity at NFL free agency to pick up somewhere else?
Yeah, because now as we start to go through it, there's just not many opportunities where he can start. So that's the biggest issue for him.
There's nowhere he can start. You tell me one team he can start for.
Yeah, it's difficult right now. He's probably going to have to go in as a backup. And again, Cam Newton's kind of facing that situation. But Cam Newton was more of teams not being able to give him a physical. So you could see that. So, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. And, you got to hope that he goes into a spot, at least for him, where it's a backup where maybe he can get into a starting role a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, possible landing spots that you look for Dalton. I think Jacksonville always presents the opportunity with Minshew. And come in as a backup in Pittsburgh and just wait for Big Ben's next injury. That fills up a possibility there. I don't know. Any other landing spots you're like, yeah, you know what, Dalton could actually work here?
I mean, everyone's saying New England, and I think they were the favorite at minus 105, but I kind of don't see that. I would be surprised if that happened. It seems like they're kind of intent on going with Stidham right now, or maybe they wait and get Cam. I don't know, although I don't know if that would be a fit with Belichick.
They brought back Brian Hoyer. I mean, is there much of a difference between Hoyer and Dalton?
Yeah, I mean, unless you pay him real cheap. But what's the thing is, what is New England trying to do here this year? Are they trying to get a high draft pick for next year? Probably not. How competitive are they going to be? How much does Dalton add? So I think Jacksonville really is the good fit because remember, Jay Gruden's there. He's the offensive coordinator. So familiar with Dalton. And, Minshew, yeah, they seem committed to him now. But what if he goes out there and stinks for the first 3 games? Then you just put Dalton in there. So I think Jacksonville, to me, looks like the best landing spot. Of course, there's plenty of teams that can use backups, a veteran backup. We've seen it with, look at Pittsburgh last year. Roethlisberger goes down. That team is, I want to say dumb, but they actually weren't because their defense was so good. It's amazing the job that Tomlin did with that team. When you saw how poor the quarterback play was, Connor went down, Juju went down eventually. But it really started with Ben. Once Ben was down, that's it. That team offensively took a big hit. So it's just weird to say that Dalton could be a Pittsburgh Steeler after being their rival for all those years.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. He could go the other way, I mean, why not try and land in like Carolina? I mean, it's Teddy Bridgewater, right? I mean, are we sold that Bridgewater is like the messiah of the Panthers here?
I'm not, and that's what I was thinking too when you said before, give him an opportunity to start. Who knows if Carolina signs Bridgewater if Dalton's available? They might say, let's take a chance on Dalton for a year or two. I'm not sold on Bridgewater at all. I know he did a solid job last year filling in for the Saints, but look what the team he had around him. He was a game manager. It's like, all right, let me throw short passes to Michael Thomas, to Kamara. Don't mess this up. I'm not buying him. So, yeah, I mean, Carolina could be an option too.
Carolina could be an option. Any place else? I was just kind of scanning through the list.
Denver, maybe. They went out and made a ton of moves. I know they're going to probably give Drew Lock a long leash, but what if he comes out and he's terrible? Their backup is Jeff Driscoll right now.
Don't say that, dude. What do we mean is he terrible? What do we mean? Why would he be terrible?
Who?
He was fine. Lock.
I'm saying, what if he comes out, starts the season, too much pressure on him, and
I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like that panda gif. I'm gonna start slamming shit all over the place here.
I'm just throwing it out there to have a veteran backup in case Lock's not good. I would think they give Lock a long leash, but what if he goes out there and he's like 3 touchdowns, 9 interceptions the first 4 games?
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Oh my goodness! Come on now.
You got Drew Lock in Dynasty or something?
I do have Drew Lock in a Dynasty league. Yes,
it sounded personal there.
But you know what it is? No, I mean, you look at it. It's like, everybody was giving such crap to Elway for years. Just try to draft himself. Just try to draft himself. He finally lands on a guy who does, I'm not going to say he resembles John Elway, but I mean, he is the exact type of quarterback that Elway's been looking for this whole time. So, it kind of hits here. And now he went out and he went grabbing him all these weapons. KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy come in this year. He's got a young tight end in Noah Fant. You've got young in Cortland Sutton. So don't be giving me that negative Drew Lock talk.
I'm just throwing potential scenarios out there. That's all. Your Jets? How about the Jets?
Well, I don't want Dalton. Oh, can you imagine that red hair next to the emerald green?
I mean, look, about the Cowboys, I would. I don't know if they have cap space because I want a veteran quarterback back up. Dak goes down there screwed. I mean, so there's almost every team. I mean,
you don't love Cooper Rush? What's wrong with Cooper Rush?
Yeah. How many teams actually have a good backup in the NFL nowadays? Not many. So, but the thing is, Cam definitely wants to start. Cam has said that he'll kind of just wait for an injury to happen. But with no OTAs and minicamp and training camp potentially getting pushed back, that's just going to push that window out even further. So, it's a risk that he's doing that. But at the same time, he's probably not getting offers that he likes right now, and especially with the lack of being able to have a physical done by that team.
Yeah. If you had a peg Cam going one place, where would it be?
Oh, boy, man. I honestly don't know, man. I know Rivera was talking about him in Washington, kind of said no because, they want to see what Haskins can do. I mean, Cam does want to start, and I think he should. I guess.
What about Detroit?
No, they're not going to do that. Stafford was good last year.
I know you love Stafford. But
it's not I love him. It's a fact. Look at what Stafford did when he played last year.
Oh, my back hurts. Oh, my back.
Stafford's been one of the most durable quarterbacks in the NFL. His career.
Are you fine with Chase Daniel and David Blah as the backups?
I thought you wanted to go there to start over Stafford.
No, I'm not saying to start. I wouldn't crap on Stafford that badly.
You could give me like any team, and Dalton could be a viable backup. I mean, really.
What about Cam?
Cam, I think he should get an opportunity to start. I've always said this, and it's not a genius take here. Cam's fantasy value is tied to his legs. If he's not going to run, he's not going to be a great fantasy quarterback. He's not the most accurate passer. He's a guy that has to run in order to be great in fantasy. So it all comes down to health. If that guy isn't healthy and he can't run, he's not going to be beneficial for fantasy. And even from an NFL perspective, too, you don't want him dropping back, throwing the ball 30, 35 times a game without being a threat to run. It takes a lot away from him.
All right. What are you're Mr. Odds man? What are the odds that Cam lands in Washington?
I don't think they're great.
Really? Come on, Ron Rivera.
No,
boys. You don't like it? Okay, fine. Be that way. Be that way. All right. Next topic here. Then we'll just move on from this because I don't want to upset you with my Matt Stafford talk.
It's not upsetting.
Apparently it is. He got you all riled up here.
Nah, I
might as well just say that Fensty's better than you at beer pong.
He's not. Let's not. Well, an actual real life beer pong, sure. I don't play beer pong, so he might be better than me. But
I mean, he also knows more about basketball than you do.
No, he doesn't. We did NBA trivia on the show. I don't know if you listened. I got 14 of 15. He got 8 of 15. So I will say, though, some of the questions for him were a little challenging, but he said they were fair. So.
All right. Okay. I just like stirring the pot.
Probably watching, and he's going to like text me later or
stirring the pot with you too could very well be one of my more favorite hobbies. That
and you don't need to do much, man. You know, it's not a speck of oil in the water. Boom.
Oh, it's almost as fun as hitting up Jen's dad on Twitter and telling him to give us another picture of his daughter.
That didn't. The Uber Eats comment didn't take much time yesterday either.
No, he was all over that. All over that. All right, next topic in the wonderful world of the NFL. This is more of a fantasy kind of thing. Well, before I bring this up here, obviously I have no idea what your stance was. What was it, like 2 seasons ago when Yahoo was like, oh, we're going to give Kyle Schwarber some catcher eligibility and grandfather him into that. Now ESPN is the culprit here. Taysom Hill. Now he's a tight end / flex player. So if you want to get cute and gimmicky, you can use him without giving up your quarterback spot. And I got to tell you, I think this is trash. I think it's garbage. And you show me on one depth chart where Taysom Hill is not listed as a quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. I don't understand why ESPN thinks that they should be doing this.
Yeah, I said it on Alarm After Hours last night. We discussed it. As far as I know, I went to the team's depth chart. They list him as quarterback. So why are we changing things? It's simple. The team has him listed as a quarterback. Leave him at a quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I respect the people over there. You know, I know Mike Clay put that tweet out. But, like, was this done for, like, attention? Because I don't understand it. Like, first of all, ESPN, they're still – I know for baseball the default league is 10 teams. For football, is it 10 teams? Because, honestly, I don't play on there. I play fantasy basketball on there, but I thought their default is 10 teams. Even in a 12 team, who's playing Taysom Hill? And those are shallow leagues. Like, Who in their right mind is putting Taysom Hill at tight end or a flex? You're going to tell me you can predict the weeks when he's going to score a touchdown? I think he had 6 last year. Great. If it's a 20-team league or even maybe a 16-team league with a lot of roster spots, sure, he might be drafted there, whatever. And then the other part of this was, well, we can take away that position eligibility if he goes to quarterback.
Yeah.
What's that? Like, you just open up too many question marks. Leave him at quarterback. If someone is dumb enough to start him at quarterback on a given week, let them do that. But now what's going to happen? Okay, so say someone in a very deep league drafts him. They got him at tight end. Week 2 happens. Drew Brees gets hurt. Now, that's another discussion. Who's the backup? Is it Winston or Hill? I mean, Hill's getting paid more money, but Winston went there. But just say Hill, for argument's sake, becomes a starting quarterback week 3. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to, we got to take tight end away, and he's only a quarterback now? Like, it just doesn't make sense at all. Just leave him at quarterback, and that's it.
I didn't really understand the move either. Utmost respect for Mike Clay and a bunch of the guys over at ESPN. But, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head here that it's a little bit of an attention grabber.
I mean, I didn't read, like, if they did a detailed article on it. You know, I just saw him put out the tweet saying a lot of thinking went into this. So maybe there's something there that I'm missing. But, again, I just don't see the need. Why do we have to change it for? You know, and you remember, I don't know if you remember this. Yahoo last year had Jalen Samuels listed as a tight end.
Oh, yeah. That was another one there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Yahoo, they've done that continuously. Marcus Colston, his rookie year, was a tight end. Joe Webb a couple years ago. So there's always something there with them. You brought up the Schwarber. That was a great one. I mean, that was ridiculous. He didn't play a game at catcher the year before. It was like, what? Like, and that's a pretty unfair advantage for whoever gets him. So those are ridiculous, but I don't understand the Taysom Hill one at all. And I don't even know why we care. Are you going to draft Taysom Hill now if you play in ESPN because of this? I mean, I wouldn't. Even with 18 roster spots, 20 roster spots, I feel like it's a waste. What week are you starting him?
Listen, I think it's a complete waste also. I'm actually Mike Clay's his PPR tight end rankings. I'm looking for him right now, and I don't even see Taysom Hill listed in the top 30.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be. I mean, all right, you want to make an argument for 26, 27? Okay, but I'm not drafting him.
No, I'm not drafting him either. This makes no sense to me. This makes zero, zero sense. What if they go to their quarterback rankings? If they have Taysom Hill listed as a quarterback here, I mean, I think it's all over. I think it's all over.
I can't see him being in the rankings. Usually people rank 32, 35 quarterbacks. You don't really see many backups in there.
No, they got 30 listed here, and he is nowhere in sight. Yeah, I just, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they saw fewer people on ESPN Fantasy last year, fewer downloads of their app that they don't, fewer usage out of their app, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not a way to lure people. Oh, you're playing for free over at Yahoo? Well, play for free over here because we've got this with Taysom Hill. No, nobody's playing free on either site because of the players or the positions that they're at. They're playing on those sites because they're cheap SOBs and they don't want to pay money for a platform.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to say the ESPN Fantasy Basketball platform, I like it. I actually do. That's where I do my home league. So, but I don't play too many ESPN leagues, and it could be good. I don't know, but I just don't understand why moving Taysom Hill at tight end is generating buzz or why they even needed to do it. Again, let's just go by the road, especially with the NFL. It's pretty cut and dry with a lot of things. This is a little bit cloudy. In basketball, it's really a lot different because you got some guys who are a power forward. They might play small forward sometimes. There, it's a little bit more dicey, and you get the position flexibility. Baseball, it's pretty clear. I mean, unless it's the Kyle Schwarber thing, it's games played. But for football, it's pretty simple. I mean, yeah, we might start to get a blurred line where you got a guy that can play running back, receiver. But what are we going to do? So should Christian McCaffrey be a receiver now? I mean, right? What are we doing?
Well, they should do something with Lynn Bowden, right? The kid from drafted as a wide receiver.
And Gibson from the Redskins. What are we going to do there?
Who?
Gibson from the Redskins.
Oh, Antonio Gibson. Yeah, perfect example there.
Is this just going to create cloudiness for the future? I mean, again, if the NFL roster has him listed at quarterback, leave it. There was no need to change this. If someone says complain, and I cannot believe there were like thousands of people complaining, oh, I want to use Taysom Hill. You got to change it. Maybe there were. I don't know. But either way, I would say, well, he's listed as a quarterback. If you want to play him, put him in your quarterback spot. And no one's going to do that. No one. Unless they intentionally losing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the only way I would use him at tight end is if I punted the position completely and then I needed a bye-week filler.
And no one was there. Like no starter. And you're like, all right, you know what? I got to take a shot. I guess you could look at it like that, but that's that's what, a 2% scenario occurring, 3%?
I used Taysom Hill once last year at quarterback. It was a super flex league.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, and it was a 2 QB league, not super flex, so I had to have the second quarterback in there. And I lost the guy. I think I had Andy Dalton who got benched. There was nobody available. And I ended up having to just lock onto Taysom Hill and just pray and hope that he did something. He did nothing that week. Zero.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's the only scenario where you would do it. Like you said, maybe you're in a league that starts 2 tight ends and there's a bye or whatever, and you're like, oh, who's there? Oh, Taysom Hill. He hasn't done nothing, but he has tight end eligibility. Sure, I'll pick him up. But again, that's like a lowercase scenario here.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad everybody else hates it too. Next topic of conversation here. Let's talk Joe Mixon because I love Joe Mixon. I really do. Lost respect when I saw a video of him, punching a girl in the face in a fast food place and, whatever. I'm willing to, wipe the slate clean. Not really, but whatever. I'm not drafting him for his personality. I'm drafting him for his ability. And when all the NFL coaches are saying, I don't care about the video, I don't want him running against me, so yes, I'll draft him, kind of puts that, sad, but nevertheless, the way it goes. Now, we saw Mixon last year, really, once that offensive line got healthy, and that was really the key, decimated by injuries early on in camp, started the season all banged up, just total backups. As it got healthier, Mixon really started to light it up. Now, coming into this year, Joe Burrow at QB, they got an array of wide receivers. I'm like, man, healthy offensive line, gimme more Joe Mixon, and then all of a sudden we hear it. Joe Mixon willing to hold out if the Bengals don't re-up with him. Now, the Bengals are the cheapest sons of bitches out there, and we can just take a look at the AJ Green situation as an example of how they are unwilling to commit long-term or commit big dollars to a player. So now the question is that going to knock Joe Mixon down your draft boards? Could he be the next Melvin Gordon, Lev Bell, Zeke Elliott when it comes to the holdout?
Well, there's a couple things at play here because initially I thought it would. I mean, most people are not going to do their redraft leagues anyway for a couple months, but we are in best ball season. A lot of people are doing it. But the new CBA does not give Mixon any leverage at all because now if he doesn't report day one to training camp, he does not accrue a season, and then he can't become a free agent until the end of 2021. So that makes no sense for him to do it. So he can talk now, hope the Bengals give him a contract extension. I think he's looking at McCaffrey as the model. He's not going to get what McCaffrey did. No. He just doesn't do what McCaffrey does. So I think he only makes $1.2 million this year. So my guess when it comes said and done, I mean, put yourself in Mixon's shoes. Are you not going to show up day one at training camp and now you can't be a free agent for another year? No way, man. Not at his age, because he's got one payday left. And, it sucks. I talk about this a lot. Actually, this is something Lisa Ann and I actually disagree on about running backs. Like, I feel bad for these running backs. They're in a terrible spot. They get drafted. They get these 4-5-year contracts. The teams run them into the ground. And then they can't get paid. That's why they're holding out. That's why Zeke held out. And we can sit here, and we all know running backs from a NFL owner, GM perspective, don't pay them. It doesn't make sense. You can get draft one, run them in the ground, keep churning. But I understand where Zeke was coming from. It's like, you're giving me all these touches, you're ruining my body, and then I'm supposed to wait till my contract expires, and then by that time, who's going to want to pay him or the market goes down? So these running backs are in a real tough spot. Fournette, Mixon, Mixon making $1.2 million this year. I feel bad for them, but I see both sides of it because it does not make sense to pay these guys long term. Although Mixon's 23, so you can give him a 3-4 year deal. He should be fine throughout that one. But how much money of your cap do you want to invest in a running back unless you have that cheap quarterback? And we've seen it with Seattle. Russell Wilson at all those years not making money. Now he makes a lot of money. They lost a lot of guys on the defense, and that window makes it tougher to win. Why do you think Kansas City won? They had Mahomes on the rookie deal. Now it's going to get interesting when they have to pay him. So I see both sides of the argument for running backs, and I do feel bad because a lot of them are just not going to get paid big money, and it makes sense from the GM owner perspective.
See, I don't feel bad for them at all, and I guess I'm siding with Lisa Ann on this one here because you know what? Listen, you know what you're signing up for. You know what you're doing heading into whether you start playing, Pop Warner football and you start playing through high school, you get recruited to a big Div 1 program. You know that this is the life that you're leading. At some point, you will get a hefty signing bonus and a rookie contract. That's just the way it is. And these teams are giving you all those touches. Well, that's your time to shine. It's your time to showcase so that when it comes time for after, they pick up that 5th-year option on you. And maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe if, to happy compromise, we say, screw that 5-year option and
make
just
the
leave
rookie
it
deal shorter, man.
What's that?
Make the rookie deal shorter, 2-3 years, man. Because, if you got a running back for 5 years and you run him into the ground, you're not going to pay him after that. It's like, all right, go somewhere else. And you've seen the Todd Gurley deal already backfired on the Rams.
Well, that was just a stupid deal. That was a dumbass deal that without checking medicals.
Is the Zeke deal dumb?
What was the what did that finish off at? I don't
remember the final numbers, but they paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, of course they paid him a lot of money. Listen, but now we're looking at a change in running backs anyway. How many bell cow backs? And I guess this is where we can kind of transition to it here. Is that how many bell cow backs are there? You've got Barkley, McCaffrey, you've got Zeke, you've got Dalvin Cook. All right, maybe Lev Bell.
He is. You can't. He had over 300 touches last year. He's a bell cow back. He wasn't very productive.
Yeah, he rushed for 302 yards. It was great.
Right. But a bell cow back is a guy that's basically playing all three downs, getting.
So that's 5. That's
right.
5 right there out of 30 teams, 32 teams. My bad. So you got 5 out of 32. You could say maybe Miles Sanders in Philly this year becomes that bell cow back. Maybe David Johnson in Houston. as that possibility. But I mean, this is a time where now it's like everybody's in a shared backfield. Look at Alvin Kamara. Like, are you going to want to like dole out all sorts of money to Alvin Kamara, knowing that this dude breaks down if he plays 4 games as the primary back, and then he like slows down for the rest of the way until you have another guy in there? Like, I mean, to me, I look at it being a shared position now. You've got your between the tackles guy, you got your pass catching guy. I'm not going to sit here and feel bad that this dude's not making $32 million in a season when he's 22 years old and the biggest idiot in the world. You want to give all that money to Zeke so that he can do what? Be a schmuck for the rest of his life?
Oh, see, that's not the point. See, I look at it from the perspective that the NFL generates a ton of revenue. Okay, if you're a running back in the NFL and you see how much money they make, and then you look and you see the 6th guy in the NBA coming off the bench making $15 million a year, and you're making 1 or 2, it's just not right. And I understand there's more players that you have to pay on an NFL roster as well, but it's like these guys sacrifice their body. You've seen these guys when they retire and how terrible they look and all the pills and all. I just, they have a skill that, and everyone, I don't even want to get into the whole thing, but I've gotten in arguments over the years. People like the teachers telling me, well, I only make this much. They shouldn't make that much. Great. Teachers are underpaid. I'm not arguing that. But you could teach. I could teach. I actually almost became a teacher. I got into the New York City Teaching Fellowship Program, and I almost became a teacher and left the sports career. That lasted a week, and I realized this is not what I want to do. So the thing is, they do something that a lot of us don't, and they generate a lot of money. People go pay to watch them. People pay their jerseys. The NFL screws their players. That's the bottom line. If you're not a quarterback or a pass rusher, you don't get paid enough for what the NFL generates in revenue. So that's my biggest problem when you see what baseball players and NBA players make. So that's a different argument. But yeah, there's very few bell cow running backs now, which is why running back search is going so fast in drafts now. And if you don't, I feel like in almost every draft, as long as you don't overpay, depending on where you are, you kind of have to come away with 2 in the first 3 rounds, man. Otherwise, you're going to need a lot of luck. You're going to have to hit on some players in the middle rounds that get into the job because of an injury, and we did not see that happen a lot last year. Last year was a terrible year on the waiver wire.
It was a terrible year on the waiver wire. Matt Sells, our producer today, just sent me Zeke, 6 years, $90 million.
Right. I don't know how much was guaranteed. I mean, that's always the big thing is the guaranteed money. Because like Amari Cooper, they paid $100 million. They can get out of that deal after 2 years.
Right. Well,
so it's all the guaranteed money.
Let's see. 28 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
28 million.
Can you imagine that? I'm a Cowboys fan, and they probably didn't need to do it, but I don't blame Zeke for that. You have the market. Jerry's going to pay you. Get paid, man. I mean, all these guys, anyone in life, you're always going to advocate for anyone. Hey, you can get the money, go get it.
If you can get the money, then go get it. But not honoring a signed deal is not setting a very good example.
No. Who didn't honor the signed deal?
By holding out. You're not honoring your signed deal.
But he clearly had leverage because Dallas paid him, right? Mixon doesn't have leverage.
But, Melvin Gordon, he ended up coming back finally.
Right.
No leverage, but that's not honoring a signed deal. If you sign your rookie contract, you are agreeing to all of this.
Isn't the rookie contracts have to be 4 years?
Yes.
So that's where that needs to be changed. It shouldn't be. They don't have a choice. They have to take 4 years.
Listen, I'll go with you. 3 years for a deal with a 4th-year option. I'm okay with that instead of 4 and the 5-year option. I'm fine with that.
The bottom line is very few running backs are going to get paid in the future. It's going to be worse and worse. McCaffrey got his. He's still young. He's obviously been productive. Zeke, obviously bell cow back, put up big numbers. That's why they did it. We're just not going to see that much anymore. I mean, Leonard Fournette, they want to get rid of. Who's going to pay that guy?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, yeah, you're right. That's the thing. It's the evolution of the position, and really, you're just going to be able to, throw a tight end. into your backfield, swing him out wide, let him be the safety valve. He's a better, probably a better blocker than some, 5'9" dude who's like, oh, I'm 211 pounds. No, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, if you have a kid, don't let him play running back, man.
If you have a kid, don't let him play running back.
Hopefully he can play quarterback because you don't even need to be that good. Just be good enough to get drafted and be a backup your whole life and hold the clipboard. I would do it.
Oh, I would for the millions of dollars to hold a clipboard on the sidelines.
And then when the starting quarterback got hurt, I'd run to the locker room like, oh, damn, I got some pain.
Oh, I fake the injury immediately, right? Like I'm running out to get into the huddle, and all of a sudden I grab my hamstring and just tumble face first. I'm in the dirt.
That'd be great. Then Cam Newton's on the phone.
Oh,
Get him in.
Andy Dalton, paging Andy Dalton. Oh my God! All right, well. Before we continue through here, well, you know what I do? I want to know your thoughts on Miles Sanders here. I got to know. Bowden and I were going through, our Dynasty top 12 at the running back position. We were talking about the fact that there are fewer and fewer bell cow backs out there. Does Miles Sanders profile as a bell cow back for you this year? I mean, I don't care that they signed Corey Clement.
Right.
Whatever. But it's Clement and Boston Scott, and you know how Peterson likes to rotate these jackasses in there. But do you still consider Miles Sanders to be a bell cow?
Yeah, I love Miles Sanders this year. I actually loved him last year, had him in a lot of leagues, held on. And if you look, when Jordan Howard didn't start or wasn't in the game, there were 7 games. Sanders averaged 18.7 touches per game. We know he can run great routes. He seems like a receiver at times. Yeah, I'm not worried about Clement and Boston Scott. I think Sanders is the guy. And actually, I was stunned that in the SiriusXM post-draft draft that he went in the 3rd round. I would even consider him at the end of the 1st, early 2nd. So, yeah, I'm in on Miles Sanders this year. And I wish I was in that draft because he would have fell to me in the 2nd round. I would have scooped him up.
Yeah, I'm looking at him now. And, yeah, that's probably a name that I'm going to have to start bumping up on my boards a little bit more each time. All right, final thoughts here. Adam, as we sit here locked away in the corona world and not allowed to go out, not allowed to do anything, a lot of predators out there. Let's face it. There are a lot of predators out there preying on people who are antsy about staying, like you, for example. Like, I mean, let's face facts, all right? And this all comes inspired because a young lady who looks like a 19-year-old smoke show, right? Blonde hair, big boobs. It's all cuddled up with a cute little puggle dog, right? Keeps hitting me up on my instant messenger here. Hiya, how you doing? Hope you're good. Like, I have no idea who this person is. I look through the timeline or whatever, and it's I feel like I'm being catfished. If I respond to her, like how many steps away am I from filling out, paying for something on her wish list online here? But you're a single dude, and you said it yesterday on Table That Discussion. You're longing for that human touch, that contact. You're not getting any right now. How vulnerable are you? Can we catfish you? Are you catfish vulnerable?
Not going to happen, man. Actually, a couple times on dating sites, I could tell something was not right. So I like to engage and see how far people go. So we were texting back and forth for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, hey, I lost my job. I have no money to get food. Can you send me $100? Not going to happen. Not doing it, man. So yeah, no, it's a good lesson to everyone because they understand. Some men are very vulnerable, lonely, and will do anything for attention. I'm not that way. Like, I have plenty of women to talk to. Obviously can't see them right now, but I'm not going to fall for that trap.
What do you mean you can't see them, right? You don't use
Video.
their webcam?
Yeah, exactly. Video. Well, I'm saying that's the thing. Well, if they won't video with you, something's up, because I did that one time. So I'm like, oh, let's talk on video. And they kind of just ignored it. I'm like, all right, it could be a guy trying to get money. And I do know there are women on these dating sites too, who will put up pictures of other women and claim to be them. So they know. Look, there's a reason why things happen, right? We always joke about the Nigerian prince emails and all this stuff. The reason why it keeps happening, it clearly works. They get someone. It's messed up, But yes, it happens a lot now. And especially in this time where people are home and bored and don't have things to do, it's ramped up. I mean, I see, you know what OnlyFans is? OnlyFans.com?
No.
Okay, it's basically this site.
Oh yeah, it's the porn site.
Right, but a lot of non-porn stars are putting stuff up. There was a girl I was talking to, and then all of a sudden she sends me links to her videos on OnlyFans, wanting me to become a member and pay. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. Now she was hot. I was like, damn, maybe I should. But I'm like, nah, I'm not paying for it. But they're doing it now. And then there's some that are doing it, like I said, not even putting pictures of them, other women, and guys fall for it, man. So you do got to be very careful out there. You know, I always suggest if you really want to talk to them or see it's real, you got to get them on video, man, so you know it's real.
All right.
I mean, I'll give you a story. So,
oh yeah, I love this. Go ahead.
So this was Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. I was at my friend's house, and I couldn't sleep. I don't sleep well to begin with, and then at someone else's house, nah. So I was on this dating site. Girl starts messaging me. I'm like, okay, cool. She was real hot, from Jamaica. Then all of a sudden she gets on the audio. On that site, they have like an audio call. So we're talking on the phone. And then she's like, you have WhatsApp? I'm like, yeah. So she gets on video. So I actually see her. But she was like very aggressive, like, yeah. And she sent me a nude pic. And then she was like, oh, I ran out of data because she was from Jamaica. And obviously they eat more data. Could you send me $50 so I can get the data and we could talk more? I didn't do it. And then like a week later, and then I would still message her. And she's like, oh, you didn't send me this and that. I'm like, yeah, I've been busy. I can't do it. But I appreciate her. She was up front and said what she wanted right away and saw, hey, this guy, he ain't going to do it. I'm going to move on. But yeah, I saw her video. She sent some pictures. She did look good, but you know, try and get someone else to pay for your data.
Right. Well, see, and you know what? And I'm glad that you say all this, Adam, because truth be told, I put this into our little show rundown today because I was worried about you, man. I was like, man, if there's somebody who's catfishable right now, yearning for that female companionship,
it's not me.
It's Adam Ronis.
See what you did? Now I'm gonna get a ton of messages today. And like someone's gonna try to get me, and then they're gonna come back to you, yo, Howard, I got Ronis. I got him. Look, I will talk and engage. So if you're trying to get me, we'll talk and engage. You ain't getting no money from me. I can tell you that right now. Well, we might have a conversation and you might think, oh, he's buying this. I like to go along with it. I've done it with 2 people recently. And we would talk for like 2 weeks. And then eventually they asked for money. And that's it.
But what if I send you a picture of me and I'm like this? I'm like,
I might be tempted. That
over the shoulder, the finger by the mouth, right? That would help.
Saliva too coming out. I might be tempted. Yeah.
Oh, what about
I might be tempted. I will say this though, for some reason,
puppy dog eyes.
on Facebook, I've been getting requests from women in other countries, bro. And I'm not even looking for women on Facebook. I've gotten 2 from Kenya in the last few weeks. Like they actually know. Like, how do they know what I like?
I don't know, which is why I'm a little worried about this Danny Phillips girl who keeps trying to get in touch with me.
And this is through what? Twitter?
Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Facebook does a ton of fake ones. Like, you could tell. And I always look from YouTube. I look from YouTube. They created the profile last week. Born in '99. Like, you know. And then I'll see and I'll look for mutual friends, and I'll see a couple of idiots in the fantasy industry that are friends with her. I'm like, are these guys that I'm like, it's fake? Like, come on, man.
Well, you know, depending on which fantasy industry people they're friends with,
right?
Like, you know that it's a catfish or such.
Yeah. So those I won't accept the friend request from. I'm not doing that.
All right. Well, see, there you go. See, I'm just, you know, in a subtle sort of way, looking out for you. I'm just making sure you're good, man, you know?
I'm good for now. We'll see. It depends how long this extends. We might have a discussion next week. Howard, I spent $1,000.
Right? Well, yeah. All right. So let's set the over under on money Adam spends between now and the end of quarantine.
Oh, well, we don't know when quarantine's going to end, bro. So that's kind of it's going to be I take the under on whatever it is.
Whatever it is?
Yeah. I'm not going to do it, bro. I'm strict with that stuff.
All right, I'll send you just pictures of me, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All right, listen, I've wasted enough of our time at the end of this one here. I can't help it. It's quarantine, man. What else are we gonna do? Like I'm sitting here now. It's like 20 to 1 Eastern, Pacific time. I'm like, man, if I go into the house, the wife's gonna ask me to do some chores. She's gonna ask me to like hang a picture or something. I don't want to do any of that. So I'm just gonna dilly dally here online.
Well, I have work to do. You're gonna just keep me here while I got work to do.
Well, what are you doing? What do you got going on? Oh, you got a wide receiver article.
I got to do that, and I got Alarm After Hours.
Ooh, you be nice to Justin Fensterman.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding.
This is what's crazy. I get all the blame. Do you hear the way he talks to me on the show?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's pretty rough himself, but I get the blame. Unbelievable.
It's because I know you can take it better than him.
That is true. Yeah, we're working on that, man. That's one thing about you too. You're able to take them pretty easily. There's a lot of sensitive people sometimes, man. You know this. Working through the years, there are a lot of sensitive people. If you're gonna dish it out, you got to be able to take it, man. 100%. It's all fun, man. It's all fun. People take stuff too personal.
Well, that's the huge problem. That's the huge problem right now is that not only are people taking it way too personally, but in the quarantine, everybody's so hypersensitive right now that it's like you really can't. Like, I mean, you have to actually write, /sarcasm if you're even going to remotely do that. I've had people jump all over me for stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, society as a whole has become sensitive over the last few years in general anyway. It's a lot different now. There were radio shows that we did in 2010, 2011 we couldn't do right now.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding? Yeah. Right. Got to clean it up. Family friendly. All right. That's going to do it for us today. Big thanks to Adam Ronis for jumping in with us. Big thanks to Matt Sells for producing. Much appreciated there. Guys, again, 3 p.m. Eastern, you come hit these live streams, whether it's just 2 people, 4 people, 5 people. We're going to just kind of run these programs out. There's some great stuff, whether it's 5-on-5, whether it's table that discussion. We're going to bring back 3-point play so we can get some hardcore debates going back and forth. I'm going to do a 3-point play special one with just you and Fancy. I got to see it in action. That's going to make it. It's going to end up being like a 7-point play because I'm never going to want it to end. It's going to just keep going over and over again. So that's going to do it. What's that?
I'm ready for that. Let's do it.
I know you are. I know you are. Just ready, like sink my teeth into them. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Fantasy Alarm in the search bar. You get all our videos. They're all in one place right there. You don't want to miss out on any of the ones that we have done, but that we're going to be doing in the future. Go to @FantasyAlarm on Twitter. Give us a follow there. And, of course, go to our Facebook page, fantasyalarm.com, and give us a follow. No catfishing. No catfishing us at Fantasy Alarm. But that's going to do it for today. For Adam, do you want to say something about catfish and Fantasy Alarm now?
Wow, just be really careful out there, man. Always be skeptical until you get her on video, man. That's the key. You can there's ways you got FaceTime, WhatsApp. There's plenty of ways to do video, man.
There's going to be some ways where all of a sudden they're going to be able to like do video with you, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like a poorly dubbed kung fu movie because they can't get the technology just quite right.
Yeah.
Snapchat, they're going to all of a sudden have like dog ears and stuff like that.
There's so many scams out there. It's ridiculous. These women, man, they're hustling, making money right now. This is a big time for them.
Hashtag respect the hustle. No, don't. Just don't be an idiot. That's all. That's the simple. Final word right there.
Right. There's no Nigerian princess going to send you money. If you find them, let me know.
Hang on one second, Ben. let me tell him I'm not allowed now. Sorry, my mom says I can't play with you anymore. All right, for Adam Ronis, I'm Howard Bender. Thanks for tuning in to Fantasy Alarm Sports Talk. We'll catch you next time.